Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and tonight I have with me as my co-host the gorgeous Jay. Hi, Jay.
Oh,
How you doing?
Oh, thank you so much, Pam. I appreciate that. I'm doing just fine. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I know that you just went through surgery for your appendix, so I'm glad that you could be with me today.
Thank you very much. I am too.
Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better. You know, it takes a little time to heal, but don't push yourself.
No, believe me, I'm not looking anything more than a drink. That's about it, so I'm fine.
Yeah. And tonight we also welcome the multi-talented NAACP and Fred Award winner, Ralph Cole Jr. He's an actor on the small screen and the big screen and the stage. He's just everywhere.
Oh,
hello,
God,
Ralph.
Thank you, Jay.
Hey. Good to have you on the show. Thank you for being with us
guys.
tonight.
I appreciate you inviting me to be on Take Two.
Thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you.
And congratulations, Pam, on your new show.
Thank you.
Yay, Pam. Yay, Pam.
Thank you. It's not something I saw myself doing, but, well, here I am, and I'm happy to be here.
Exactly. Well, we didn't think we'd be seeing each other on our telephones either.
No.
And now
Thank God we don't have the phone-o-vision right now, because you'd all be freaking out at how I look.
Oh, me too. Me too.
No, it's so funny, God. I can remember being a youngster at Disneyland, them talking about the phone of the future and being able to see somebody as you were talking to them on the phone, and I thought how cool that would be, and now we are living it.
I know.
It's just crazy.
So many things in technology today that we never thought we'd live to see. You know, you always thought it was going to be when the Martians took over the world, and
right, exactly.
You know, in 3000 or something. I don't know, but it's fun. I have to say, it does take time to learn a lot of these new things, but as long as you have kids around, teenagers for that matter, they can teach you a whole lot that you don't even know about.
Exactly.
And that's how I learn my stuff. And I know a lot of times my daughter will say, Mom, I just showed you that. Well, hello, you got to show me again. So
kind of funny when you have, and I'm not even trying to exaggerate or be funny here, when you have 5-year-olds that can show you how to do something on a laptop that have forgotten or have no clue. I kid you not, that happened with me. So I'm like, okay, a little 5-year-old is smarter than a 43-year-old. Okay.
Wow, isn't that amazing how the kids are growing up? Like, look at that, like just in our generations how, I mean, that was not, what didn't exist. And now a 5-year-old is actually going, you really need to go control stuff.
I know.
You know?
Yes.
That's so funny. Well, I want to say that you've been very busy all of your life, Ralph. And we're going to start up just a couple of years back, okay?
Okay.
So very early you were singing, playing the flute and the piccolo in marching bands.
Oh,
That's
yes.
just a few years ago, right? You remember that.
Yes. Well, yes, it was, thank you. We'll go with that. Thank you. I remember.
Then you moved on to studying your acting at the Inner City Cultural Center, UCLA, where you caught the theater bug. What was it that caught you? Why did you like the theater so much?
I had the bug from birth. And
from birth?
Being at Inner City and then getting to go to UCLA, I was able to really realize it. And I started doing pageants when I was 4 years old, like in the Easter pageant, and from that point on had always been outgoing and theatrical, but it was really getting to hone it at Inner City and then in summer stock at UCLA where I really got to make my foray into a professional type setting into showbiz.
Well, I was going to ask you that too, but what I wanted to ask you is, do you think, well, I say do you think, I know that you do think this, but that creativity and the arts and entertainment and music, all that comes into someone's, being as they're born. It's not something that you can really learn if you don't already have the innate sense inside yourself. Do you find that to be true for yourself, and you had a lot of support growing up and pursuing what you wanted to pursue?
I definitely feel that it's something innate in you. There are things that can be developed, But I think for them to be developed fully, it has to be innately in you to have passion about it. My parents, fortunately, were very supportive of my outgoingness. I'm an only child. My father was a physician. My mother was a school teacher. So they were both in professional fields, but encouraged me to do whatever made me happy. And my father was so proud of believing in that. And there were times when I had thought about, as I got older, I mean, like I had always been into television and into sitcom and into performing. And I can remember watching an episode of Father Knows Best and just enjoying it so much and being so moved by it and just realizing that was a venue that I wanted to be a part of. And maybe I didn't express it like that then, but there was something in me that I knew I was born to perform and to be out there. And because I did get the support of my parents and I was in the pageants and the things that kids do as they're growing up in school, and I was good at all of that, one thing just led to another. Like any parent, they were concerned that the kind of career path I really wanted to go on is so difficult. I mean, every career is difficult, but even that one is, creatively can be very challenging. But still they supported me, and it's because it has always been my passion that I'm fortunate that I still get to do it and that I still love doing it.
That's wonderful.
Thanks,
now,
Jay.
and I know that you went to New York from there, and you did theater and stand-up comedy. You were in the musical Sisterella and played Babaloo. What exactly is a Babaloo?
A Babaloo in Larry Hart's production is the fairy godfather to Sisterella, the lead. Sisterella is the black urban version of Cinderella. So Sisterella was the downtrodden girl, and there were the evil stepsisters and the evil stepmother, and I was the fairy godfather that saved her from all badness, and his name was Babaloo.
There we go. I love it. I love it.
That sounds adorable. I wish I could have seen that.
Time in my life. That was, that's a really great example, Jay and Pam, of how a child gets to realize their dream and their vision. Because when you asked me how long ago this started, and I was able to say at a very young age, before 5 years old, I knew that I liked the performing. Sisterella was a show that was a dream come true for me. A bawdy, fun, rousing musical that I get to star in and have a great time, and there's so many people that are starring in it that are all so good that I get to be a part of it, was just the most magnanimous thing ever in life. I can remember seeing a production of The Wiz starring Andre DeShields.
Yes.
And I loved that musical so much and loved Andre DeShields. I was like, oh, my God, I want to be that when I grow up. So years later, I got to work with Andre DeShields in a project, and we had such a great time together. And it was so fun to just let him know how much I idolized him and I loved his bravura on stage, and it was something that I felt that I had, and fortunately I do and continue to have it. So it was just a lot of fun. So Sisterella, for me, it just exposed me to a lot of different people. It allowed me to be in a celebrity-type environment and to star in that and to get a glimpse of what all of that felt like. It was a chance for me to have my mouth agape at the stars that I was getting to meet and be around, and to get the accolades and to please audiences night after night, and to be at the legendary Pasadena Playhouse in Pasadena. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, there were so many pluses. It's like those stories you hear about any performer where there's so many highs and there's so many not so highs, and the ones that were really high, this was a great stepping stone for me. This was because it's one thing to realize your dream and want to do it, and then when you get to do it, things are so different. But for me, it was different, but it was still fun. But now that when you're actually living it, and it's like, God, I'm a part of this whole big machine that is fantastic. It's just a very, very exciting feeling. And it prepares you for everything else that comes along in life, because Sisterella was a great training ground for me, learning how to conduct myself on stage as well as off, how to conduct myself with producers and all the things, all the bureaucratic and administrative things that go on off stage and behind the scenes. It just really strengthened me. And I have friendships from that time that I still have today. So it was just a really great way of growing up in the industry. Some people do it by being on a television show for years. I had a nice stint of it with 5 months plus with 5 months in Germany, I should say. I spent more time in 95. I was with the show for 3 years in total. So it was a very fun part of my life. Yeah, thank you.
Now, what I read is that it was directed by Robert De Niro and Michael Jackson?
They were producers. Larry Hart was actually the director, but Michael Roberts' companies helped produce the musical. We used Michael's studios to record the music in. Larry Hart did. Robert De Niro with Tribeca Film Productions was one of the producers, along with the late Dick Scott. So that's the clarification there.
Okay, and you won your awards from that musical as well.
Exactly, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. In fact, I just went to the NAACP Theater Awards 2 weeks ago here in Los Angeles, and I'm a proud recipient of the award from my work in 1996 at the Pasadena Playhouse, along with Yvette Casson, who won for Best Lead Actress. I was Best Supporting Actor, and Larry Hart won for the production for Sisterella. So once again, you guys, you see, here's another icing on the cake from this show, Sisterella. I grew up with the organization NAACP and was very proud of it, and very proud to be a proud Negro, and I know that's politically incorrect to say now, but that's what I like to say. And I was happy to know about that organization and just know that I was a part of it. Now to actually be nominated for an award from the organization and then subsequently win, it doesn't get any better than that.
Exactly.
And it's something that I will have for the rest of my life, and I'm so proud of that. So, when I started the musical and stuff, none of that, you don't think of those things until they start, as the ball is rolling. But, I was just along for a really great theatrical ride, and then all these good things just came from it. So it was just very fun.
And your parents had to be proud.
They were extremely proud because, they supported me. Their little baby boy was lively and enthusiastic and energetic growing up. So they took me to St. Paul's Cathedral Choir School and had me go to an Episcopalian school for 2 years where I studied music and honed my voice and got to travel in England at the different cathedrals singing with the St. Paul's Cathedral Choir.
Amazing.
Oh, my Lord. That is amazing. I remember when I was 11 years old, living in Dallas, Texas, I was with the Tanya Blair talent agency, and I got a small speaking part in a CBS Hallmark Hall of Fame movie called Broken Promise. And I remember being on the set and performing and having the makeup and hair and all that kind of stuff, and I just remember feeling great doing that and absolutely loving it. But I remember a couple of years after that being in church after a field trip that we had taken. I was up at the pulpit talking about the time that we had. And I said